and welcome to the show. What?
You're like, morning. You're just so sassy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
What if we tried to do a whole underwater show?
I wonder if you guys would understand us.
That's my underwater voice.
So initially, when I wrote today's topic, I thought that we were gonna be on the road, but we're not on the road.
But we're not on the road. We're going to be on the road today to a plane, and then we're going to be in the air, and then we're going to be back down on planet Earth. Then we're going to be back in the plane. Then we're going to be on the road.
Yes. So
we're still traveling, though.
So initially, as you can tell, things move fast here, but initially...
Things change all the time.
All the time. And you have to accept it.
You gotta figure out how to... It's like dodgeball. You're like, I'm running, and then there's this... It's like the dodgeball show I was on. Not normal dodgeball. It's like... You're running, and you're doing this thing, and you're focused, and then, boom! All of a sudden, a dodgeball comes, and you're like, what? And you gotta dodge it, and then, okay, I'm going again, and then, shoom! Ah! Shit! And then you keep going. And that's how our life is.
How about when somebody tries to hit you in the hips or on the leg, and you're like...
My gosh, that's how our life is. Going. Dodge. Got it. Nailed it. Going.
You guys, I want to share this with you. Boogie has taken his sabbatical to a whole new level.
He's legit. Wait.
Do you know where he is?
Donkey is occupying his dog bed, and he is occupying Mama's bed.
He's still sleeping
He's
upstairs.
legit still in the bed upstairs. It's wild. What is happening?
The world.
He's like, I'm all out of fucks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna take a nap right here.
Okay. So today's conversation, we're gonna pretend that we're in a car, but just to add value to you guys, we want to know, what is your current relationship status? Are you in a relationship with yourself? Are you in a relationship with yourself and somebody else? Are you married? So basically, if you can drop it in the comments.
Is it complicated? I think the answer is yes to all of those.
Zoe.
Oh, Zoe wanted to come say
Are you
hi,
here
though.
to be on show instead of Boogie? He's still sleeping.
Single and happy, engaged.
Congrats, Leslie.
Married to my lovely wife.
Love it. A relationship with myself and another one with my man. I love it. 2 relationships.
2. Married. I love relationship with myself. We're going to call it single to simplify. I'm hopeful. Single and it's complicated. Oh, we got KJ in the house, Mr. Jocelyn.
We also have David Bainge.
Is he here too?
Mm-hmm.
Where does his name pop
He
up?
called us gangsters.
Oh, and I missed it?
Yeah.
David.
Married
to 10X and my wife. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it sounds as if Good morning, Ken Jocelyn.
We're all over the map is basically what's happening.
So it sounds as if basically half of you guys are single, half of you guys are married, some of you guys are in a relationship. That's the poll that I understood in my own
Everybody is complicated.
But everybody is in a relationship of some sort, and that's what matters. But you know, 'tis the time of year where the holidays are right around the corner, and I don't know if you guys realize, but
They're here, you know. It's the holiday season. Da 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 da. All right, I'm done.
But starting on Monday, we're making the topics, holiday themed, so that you can go and you can apply to your own life during this holiday season. But I mean, I guess if you're single, then your drive is gonna be great, or your flight's gonna be great. Well, actually, I don't know if your flight's gonna be great, because
it depends on what airline you're flying, and maybe you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, right. I'm curious, what are you guys doing for the holidays? But
drop it like it's hot.
I mean, if you're flying and you're sitting next to a stranger who just does not give a damn.
If you're on Delta, you don't fly next to a stranger. There's a seat in between you.
If you're on United, then good luck.
If you're on United, nap on your neighbor's shoulder.
Man, Delta is so much better. It's crazy.
All right, but this show is not about what airline to travel with.
Okay, so traveling with your partner, man. So like, imagine being confined to a space for either a couple of hours or maybe a couple of days, depending on where it is that you're going for the holidays. And, like, if you're not in alignment, then shit. For one, the ride or the travel is gonna suck. And for two, when you get to your destination, it's gonna suck even more. So if you're traveling anywhere during the...
And why is that? If you're not aligned, if you're not on the same page as anyone that you're traveling with, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It can be any kind of family.
True.
Any kind of friend. But why... What is the struggle when you're not on the same page?
When you're not on the same... Look, if you are not on the same page, then obviously there is some things that you're not agreeing about. So, for one, any sort of conflict can be easily resolved just through a conversation. But there needs to be an understanding, like a nonverbal and a verbal understanding, because otherwise what's going to end up happening is that it's only going to keep on magnifying for the rest of the trip. And, I feel like when we are in our home or like doing our thing, like our day-to-day thing, it's a lot easier to get away with the conflict because we're wrapped up in the busyness.
The routine. We have
the routine. So like, you can basically hide with your work, which a lot of people do, or whatever, instead of resolving it. But like, when you're sitting in a car or when you're traveling, it's like you have to be present. And if you're not going into it with alignment, then it's just going to suck. I personally, have I ever... Yes, I actually have. I've been on a trip with someone, and halfway through the trip, we were misaligned, and it was totally my fault, and the rest of the trip absolutely sucked.
So I think that we need to take a couple steps back.
Okay.
Because we need to define what is the objection or the intention anyways.
Of the trip?
So if you're traveling during this time, if you're traveling, most likely it's because of the holidays and you're going somewhere to spend time with loved ones. Okay, so great, fine, traveling, but what is your objective? Like, because we can tell somebody how to travel, but if we don't know what their goal or their intention or what they want out of it is, there's no way we can say, here's what you have to do or be on the same page or whatever. So if we're saying, in relation to your health and fitness goals, this is already a difficult time of year because there's food everywhere. People are making things and giving it to each other, and it's hard to say no. And then, you just, when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But this time of year, it's always in sight. And so in regards to what we're talking about, how do you stay on track while you travel with a partner? They must be aligned with you in order for you to continue making progress towards your goals. So that is the angle that we're taking within this travel, right? is how do you continue to make progress towards your goals, not just survive the holidays. Average people try to survive and most of them fail. You are here because you want to thrive during the holidays and continue making progress towards your goals, not just see how you can hang on with your pinkies on the edge of the cliff. So, it is muy importante, I wish Dave Robards was here for that you are on the same page and aligned with whoever you're traveling with. Because when you travel, here are the things that can happen. Going out to eat rather than making your own food. The snacks you bring while you travel. Where you're going, and do you or do you not have control of the food that's being served there. So all of these potential obstacles that could get in the way are what need to be discussed beforehand. Hey babe, or whoever it is, maybe even your family, here's my intention and my goals throughout this holiday, and the things that I would like to stick to and be accountable to are X, Y, and Z. So first of all, you have to set the intention so that you can get on the same page. Like first you have to know what page you're on before you can verbalize that to somebody else. And then it's a matter of, hey, when this circumstance or that circumstance comes up, this is how I'd like to handle it. And if they understand that, then you're going into any situation from a better surface, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, if there's nothing if you have goals and it hasn't been talked about or discussed before you actually leave for travel, then you can't expect somebody to help you with your goals or be supportive of you during the traveling. Because when you travel, you're not in your own element. When you travel, you're not in your normal routine. When we're in our normal routine, it's nice because there's certainty, and that certainty makes us comfortable to a degree. So, when I don't remember what my next thought was after that. Oh, but when you're traveling, you have to predict what kind of obstacles could get in the way. Think about how you're going to handle those obstacles, and then communicate so that you can set yourself up as best as possible to overcome those obstacles with support. Make sense? Capiche? I don't even know what the fuck capiche means.
Understood.
In what language?
I don't know.
We say it all the time.
So I was looking.
Who knows what language that is? Understood?
So I was looking something up, and I was looking what are the most argued about topics during the holidays. So let's just identify them.
Italian. I don't know if that's right. But
is it? Is it really?
I mean, more than one
that.
person has said Italian, so I'm going to go with it.
Okay. So we just looked up what are the most argued about topics during Christmas. And let's kind of like give our 2 cents with regards to each and every one of them. Mm-hmm. So apparently the first one in the article is
what's a sexologist? Dr. Nikki Goldstein.
So sexologist is like an expert in sex.
I have the science of sex.
Yeah. But so there's a few. One of the most argued about topics during the holidays has to do with the gift, apparently. Arguing about the consideration that was put into the item, not the present itself. For one, I think that that's absolute bonkers. Like, imagine getting a gift and arguing about it. I think that just causes so much.
I would like to give you this thing, and we're gonna get mad about it.
I guarantee you that it happens in a lot of probably straight couples, like, because women and men, like if you're listening to this, we'd love your opinion on this. But I feel like women a lot of times, you know, they try to think about, you know, what does that person like, whatever. And I feel like men are just very simple. It's probably like, what do I want to see them doing, wearing, or maybe they told me that they want this. But women are really complex and men are really simple. So I can only help but to assume that a lot of women are probably like, oh my God, I can't believe you got me this thing when I went out of my way to get you this. I think that it's absolute bonkers. And
I have a hard time with gifts at Christmas. Here's why. For kids, it makes sense because there's a story to it, right? Santa Claus, you know, like, he came down the chimney, and, you know, it's like a dream for a kid, right? Like, I'll lie to my kid and tell them Santa's real, for fuck's sake, because it makes them happy. It gives them something to be excited about, right? But, you know, for adults, it's like, it's just out of obligation. How many times do you buy a present for somebody out of obligation? Like, why do we need a day? This has nothing to do with this topic. This is just my own logical thought, and you can disagree with me, and that's okay. We're still friends. But my own logical thought is, why do I need a day as an adult and a story, like, to give a gift? Maybe there's some symbolism to it, but how much of that shit goes in the garbage? Let's be honest. So it's frustrating because I feel like, I know I have felt obligated to get somebody a gift before, and I know that people have felt obligated to get me things. And it's like, you just get something, and then it's like, okay, thanks. Like, it's like a pair of socks you'll never wear. So that person just wasted money. Like, I would rather not have the socks and you keep the money. And I know there's some of you that agree with me or like, oh, that kind of makes sense. You know, but there's symbolism to it. For kids, I get it. Like, it's fun, you know, get them toys and shit. They go play and then they leave you alone. But like, it's, the idea is for it to be meaningful, right? Why did we get on this topic? Because it has nothing to do with traveling.
it has nothing to do with traveling, but it's with regards to arguments.
Yeah, arguments. Yeah, I mean, intention. But you know what's more special is when you get somebody a gift and they're not expecting it. Try that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about you do it on July 23rd?
We don't do gift exchange. If we get one another something, is because we saw it whenever we did it and we're like, this is going to be amazing. But most of the things out there are crap.
Most of the things, I would say the majority of the things are purchased out of obligation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not to say all of them are. And that's not to say all of them are useless. But
and I also feel like for us too, it's like the older we get, the simpler we become. It's like, give me 5 outfits and I'll be fine for the rest of my life. Not me.
Okay, the question of where to spend Christmas Day is one of the most common arguments about couples. Your family or my family? I'm not sure why we got on this topic.
Okay, well,
because we were talking about traveling. But how do you get on the same page? It's all communication. And White Elephant is way more fun because at least it's like a game. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
How do we get on the same page? First, figure out what your own personal intention is to what your goals are and what your intention is throughout the duration of your travel. Then communicate that and find an agreement. And for some people this will be easy because both people are like, yeah, like I want to continue to be healthier and I'm on this journey with you and whatnot, right? So for some people that will not be difficult conversation. You might actually find that your person was thinking kind of the same thing, but didn't really think to speak up about it. So they might be excited that you're bringing it up.
I want to add something too. Like when you're traveling, be it for family, friends, it doesn't matter. Like, let's say, so for one, you have to be in alignment and there's got to be an intention. But let's say in the case that there isn't, or let's say maybe you were in alignment, but then something happened and, you know, you got to a situation where, you know, you were around people and you were not in alignment. Please commit to never dumping whatever conflict it is that you're going through on other people. Like, don't invite people to give them your own opinion with regards to whatever it is that you're going through. I find that it is one of the most disrespectful things, for one. And if that happens, it's probably because you're seeking validation to say, see, I told you I was right.
I'm a little bit confused. Maybe there's a missing piece or I didn't hear something. What would be disrespectful?
Like if you do end up getting in an argument or there happens to be some kind of...
don't bring your business into other people's...
Yeah, like whether you're going to families or friends, like don't involve your mom in this shit. Like don't involve other people, because what's going to happen is that now, like, there's going to be, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's almost like...
tension.
There's going to be tension because people will be teaming up. Whether it's with you or with them, it doesn't matter. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not respectful, like on a human basis.
Maybe they're teaming up, but maybe not. But regardless, is like, if you guys know the person, like, and this happens all the time in like holiday movies where like there's a couple and they're having like a disagreement or something, and then they bring it into the event, and then like everybody's pissed and they're like, you ruined Christmas because of arguments that are like brought into, there's always, I don't know how often this happens, but I feel like so much of it really just comes down to communication. You want something? Talk about it. You're aspired to do something or be a certain way. Talk about it. You know, all communication. What are you trying to do, my love?
X out of this page.
Okay, like get it away?
Yeah.
Gone? Okay, there. Yeah, I don't really know what else I have to say about the traveling.
Yeah, just be in alignment. I don't have anything else to say. Being in alignment with the person. I don't have anything else to say, to be honest. I feel like I did not add a lot of value today in the conversation simply because we are not traveling right now. So I feel like...
To show you what we're doing?
Yes.
So what would we do then? Let's make it. Like, what would we do? If we were in a car right now, what would that scenario look like?
It's going to be just like any other day. However, one thing that I would recommend too is like, let's say if we were going to your families and stuff, like make a commitment, especially this year, to not talk about the coronavirus or politics. That's
religion, politics, coronavirus.
Just don't.
Everybody has differing views and thoughts and opinions, and it just becomes a shit show. I would say that would be the number one rule. Is the number one rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club.
And then there could be a few people in your life who will be able to handle that conversation, but those are the ones who are able to maybe have a different opinion but not take shit personally. But because people take shit personally and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're not thinking on the same way, and then like you end up judging them.
Yeah, it's like, you think differently than I do, so now I'm mad at you. That doesn't make any sense.
That's immature and that's dumb. Like, so that being said, because most people do act that way, like, just don't talk about it in the first place.
I mean, you can if you want to.
Yeah.
It's not for us to say.
But I know that there's no way in hell that if we were in your family that we were to bring that shit up.
No, if it gets talked about, I'm about to go outside and play with the dogs. But anyways, you know, when let's say in a car, we've got good healthy snacks. We are going to make sure we make time to get our workout in, regardless of what's going on. So we are still traveling. We've been traveling this entire month.
Yep.
So, it's a matter of planning ahead. What do I have coming up? Where am I going to be? What time have I dedicated to being around people when I wouldn't be the best time for me to get a workout in? And when am I going to do the workout?
Yeah.
What am I going to do for it? Where am I going to do it?
Also, rule of thumb, when it comes to workouts during travel, don't ever wait to put it at the end of the day. That's
doom.
That's just like
doom. It's not going to happen.
It's just not smart.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're around other people, most people do not have time, do not have consideration for how you choose to live responsibly, and most people have no consideration to time.
If you are in the pursuit of greatness in whatever realm that may be, but or of becoming better, just a better human being, whether that's losing weight and getting healthier, or whether that's getting your mindset more right, or whatever it is that you're trying to do to be a better person, be a better parent, be whatever. There are certain things you have to begin to adapt that a lot of people don't. And time management is one of them. Structure is another one of them. And some people just won't understand. And so you have to expect that they won't. And so if you're on the back to the topic of getting your workout done early and not later in the day, is because people will then question you and make it more difficult for you. Maybe make you feel bad for wanting to leave early or whatever. So, and you may just yourself not feel like it. I know I want to get it done and out of the way, because when I'm present with whatever it is that I'm doing, if it involves other people, I want to be there, I want to be present, and I don't want to leave to go do a workout. So
yeah,
the chances of a workout happening later in the day, depending on how you structure your holiday season, because I'm not in charge of that, most likely it would be better for you to just get it done in the beginning of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you guys, with regards to food, like we talked about that on Monday, and we're gonna, when it comes to like holiday planning, we're gonna talk about that next Monday even more. But when it comes to food, you take charge. Don't let anybody else take charge. Simply because their standards are lower than yours. So by default, it's going to lower your standards. What?
We don't know what their standards are. But guess what? Like I'm thinking devil's advocate right now. Right. I'm thinking who would say, no, that's not true. You're always in control of you. That you are your responsibility. So now if you go to somebody else's house and they're preparing all the food, you can't say, oh, you can't be in charge.
No, you can say, but you can ask. Hold on.
So what you can do is communicate with them to see what it is that their plan is, see how you can contribute in a way that will benefit you. And if you can't figure out that thing, and if they want to make all this food that like doesn't align with you and where you're going, you bring your own, right? So you're responsible for you. Always have to ask, like, what do I have control over? Is there a way that I can insert myself respectfully to have a little bit more control over this situation? Or maybe you host. You're like, I'll be the host, right? Mm-hmm. That's a way that you can have control of the situation. But in the case that you're going elsewhere, the only person you can be responsible for is
yourself.
Okay.
And I want to just touch up a little bit more with regards to food. It's really important to make sure that you and your partner are on the same page, because let's say, you know, you're going to your partner's parents and their standards are just not as high as yours. And let's say there's going to be like shit food around. Look, if something that's not in alignment with your goals is around you and your eyes see it, I don't care how disciplined you are, you will want to gravitate to it. So we talked about this on Monday, but make sure that you set an intention beforehand and have your partner hold you accountable. Have your partner, so like, for example, if there is like Cinnabons or like or just like cookies around the table, and let's say you already had one cookie, just like, you know, tap your partner and say, okay, this is my commitment that I will no longer have any cookies. And then if they see you eating more cookies, then they have the right to speak up.
Yeah, that's you asking for help too. And that is our responsibility.
That is something that you and I do all the time. Mm-hmm. Just like, hey, just a heads up. But also because...
If I grab another cookie, slap it out of my hand.
Yeah, but also because most people don't have consideration to time, you need to make sure that you're doing your part with regards to keeping to a schedule. So now, what does that mean? For example, any responsibilities that you have, I would say either if you're staying in somebody else's house, then wake up earlier and get all of your shit done before they wake up. Okay? Now, if you're staying in your own place, then do all you gotta do before you meet up with these people. Because chances are is that everything that, and again, like, that does not always have to be the case, but generally this is how it works. Everything that they will do will take way longer, and chances are is that they're not gonna have any time boundary. So they will probably stay up or do things way later than expected. So like, make sure that you have a plan to get the most important things out of the way before meeting up or before they wake up, so that you've done your part, and that, you know, if things get drawn out, if things get stretched out, then you already got all the important shit out of the way and you can just be.
I think really what it comes down to is knowing what you want out of the travel. Mm-hmm. Knowing what... Your chair is like crooked and hitting me. That's why I keep turning it. Knowing what you want out of the travel. Knowing what... we keep talking about this standards thing, but I think because everybody sees things differently, it's like one person's standard versus another person. It's measured on a different system. But you have to... Schedule is one of those difficult things during this time, because you have to know, are there things I need to get done? Are there responsibilities I need to take care of? And if you take care of them beforehand, the benefit of that is that you're able to be present when you are with people. Not thinking about things that you should have done or should be doing or need to still take care of, right? So this is just this is how we approach things like this, is we want to get our responsibilities, we want to take care of them all beforehand, because that is how we can be fully present in the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's mainly what you're getting at. Yeah? It's like, if you take care of everything first, you can be present and then not feel like, oh, I still have to take care of this or that when I go home and stay up extra late or whatever, because schedules change during this time. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's a matter of knowing what your responsibilities are, what you want to get out of the travel, and how present do you want to be for the purpose of the travel, right? If the purpose is to spend time with family or loved ones and you want to be present, then other things need to get done. And when you're present, there's more intention that goes into foods that you eat and activities that you do. And so you can actually have more of a fulfillment from all of that too.
Yeah.
I would say.
And most importantly, let's say if your partner doesn't operate that way, then I would communicate the expectations ahead of time, because otherwise you're going to start dealing with resentment, and then
clash.
And then it can lead to a snowball of just self-sabotage and just arguments, and it's not worth it. But
that snowball does not make a pretty snowman.
No, but I believe that if you're here, chances are that you already do that anyways. However, it is important to bring it up to make sure that both parties are on the same page. But if you're not, then make sure to talk about it ahead of time. Like, for example, let's say you're traveling to see your spouse's parents, and you're either staying at an Airbnb or something else, and if they just want to do their thing because they're on vacation, then you should have a conversation with them beforehand and say, hey, I understand that you probably don't have any plans. However, just know that, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at so-and-so time in order to get this, and that done before we head out. That way, there is no, oh my gosh, you woke up so early, you're not letting me sleep in, or, oh my gosh, I can't believe you do that, or why
it's setting an expectation.
Why are you working out? It's Christmas. Just stupid shit like that. Just
wear your ENS gear. Yes.
Just, set the expectation. Make sure that they're on the same page so that they can support you. Because if you're not setting the expectation, what's going to end up happening is that if they don't live the same way you do, chances are is that they will be upset.
There will be conflict.
And that's why most people call people who take care of themselves selfish, when in fact they're not.
Or obsessed.
They're just irresponsible.
You're obsessed with working out. Oh, am I? Or do I just want to be really healthy?
Yeah.
Do I just want to be strong as fuck so when I'm 70, I can carry my own damn groceries from the car to
and
the
I
house?
could probably carry you.
Anyways, that's all I have for today's show.
Alignment is the alignment and communication is really what this is all about.
Set expectations to get into alignment through communication. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That does it for today. Okay, you guys, just a heads up.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
We will be traveling today by plane later, and we will be at a conference over the next few days. So that being said,
A workshop.
tomorrow we will not.
Very intimate workshop for world domination.
Yes. So that being said, tomorrow we will not be having a guest interview. The guest interview has been moved to Wednesday. We're going to finish off the year strong. So just mark that in your calendars in the case that you haven't seen it already. We will be catching back with you on Monday, Mindset Monday. Anything else housekeeping-wise?
Chag Sameach to all of the Jews in the house.
Yeah.
It is Chanukah.
The last candle gets lit today. Other than that, you guys, have yourself a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend ahead. Stay warm wherever you are, and
That's that.
keep your standards high.
Catch you on the flip side. What, Monday?
Monday.
Monday. Bye, guys.